So for the second one, same way with the first one. You'll click on the little zip file and it will open up as a folder, and all your information is going to be inside of this folder. Actually, all the stuff is going to be inside of one InDesign file. So all you have to open up is the magazine ads InDesign. The links are just the pictures that are inside of it. There is one mistake. This isn't on any of your instructions, so you can watch the video later or you can take notes. When I double click it, it's going to give me this error saying the document contains a link to a source that's missing. What it's doing is it's trying to find a picture that I forgot to link when I saved the file. So I'm going to hit OK. It'll still open up. It'll still look exactly the same as it should look. You've got 3 different pages. In the first one, you've got a main page with the information. The second page, you've got a picture with the information, and same way for the third page. The problem is with this picture. This picture is, quote, not linked. So here's how to fix it. If I click on the information, you can see the text and this is grouped together. Remember what grouping does? Makes 2 objects kind of act the same. To ungroup it, select it. We're going to go to Object. Come on. There we go. And ungroup. Okay, so now that I can move them independently. And you can see I've got my question mark for that particular picture. To re-link it, I'm going to open my links dialog box. And you can see there's the little little icon there. If you double click it, come on, there we go. It'll bring up my window and it'll ask me to find that Starbucks logo JPEG. And it's inside of that links folder. And so here's where I can find it. When we say open, it'll relink it. Everything else should work. So the main thing is to ungroup this, open your links, and then reselect this one. It should be okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to create some picture window layouts with the information that I'm giving you. And remember, we looked at some of the examples of picture window layouts. It's mainly a large picture with text to one side of it. And the best ones, or the ones that I really liked, are the ones where the picture is kind of breaking into that text plane, such as these. And so that's what we're going to try to do with these particular layouts. I'm going to show you how to do the first one, and I'll give you some ideas for the second and third one. So to do this, first of all, I've got my information, and I've got my little logo, and obviously these two will go together. What I want to do is I want to crop off my image at a particular place so that it will it wraps around. And I'm going to zoom in. I've given you this blue line as a guideline. I'm going to draw off a white area that goes around the blue line and then around the coffee beans in the coffee mug and off to the other side. We're going to white out this entire area. Here's how we're going to do it. I've got it. Notice when I zoom in, it's very, very grainy, kind of difficult to see. I'm going to change the quality of it by going to View, changing my display performance to high quality. And that's what the second step in your outline is. Now check out what I have. Much clearer. I can see all the little details to work with it. That's what I want to see. On the third step, of course, I want the coffee on the bottom half. I'm showing you for the second page. I want the girl to be on the right side or the left side. I've given you a line where I want it to be divided. And for this one, I'm going to leave it up to you as to where you want to divide it, the top or the bottom or anything else. So let's scroll back up to the top. There we go. The tool that I'm going to start off using, let's pull this back over to the side so we don't have to look at it, is the pen tool. I'm going to set my fill color to white. I'll just double click it. And I'm going to set my stroke color to none. Nothing you haven't done before. Very easy. Fill color white, stroke color none. Then I'm going to choose my pen tool. In this case, just the regular pen tool. And I'm going to start to click and trace off this area. So I'll start right here, clicking once, clicking and dragging. Remember, I can hold down my spacebar and move it around to get it exactly where I want it to go. And I'm going to go pretty quick with this. But you can see kind of what I'm doing. Here's kind of another tip. Let's see if it'll work. I know it'll work in Illustrator. If I keep moving, notice that it's kind of blocking off certain areas. I can swap out the fill and the stroke color by clicking on this little arrow. Now all I've got is just as a stroke outline, so I can still see my picture along with what I'm working with. So I'm just going to go very quickly, not worrying about the shadows. All I'm worrying about is the outline of the coffee beans. And I'm going to make a picture window. You can do a better job. Take your time with it. There's my line again. I've clicked there. Remember, I can click just once. I'll go a little bit outside of it. And then I'll back up. I'm going to connect it because I'm going to go down and over and then bring it back to the starting point. Now watch what happens when I swap my colors back out. Completely masked out. Go back. I'll go into preview mode. And so this is what it looks like. This bottom half is the picture, or excuse me, the top half is the picture window, but my bottom half is bleeding into where I'll put my text and all the other information. Easy, quick way of making a picture window layout that also has a little bit more punch to it, rather than just having a solid picture as you had before. So there is before, there it is after. Go back to normal mode. Last thing you do, it's up to you how you want to format the text. So, and I'll bring this to the front. Obviously, when I have them, you know, that's behind everything. You can go to Object, change the arrangement, and bring it to the front. Remember, if you want to scale something down, what do I need to hold down? What two keys? And Command. Shift and Command will allow me to scale things and move things around. If I wanted to change up some of this for the best coffee for the best you, in that sentence, what do you think, what word or words is the most important in this sentence?
Best.
Best? Maybe both of the bests?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause it seems like it's emphasizing.
Yeah, that's
best
great.
coffee.
So let's see if I can emphasize the words best. Maybe I'll even start changing up some of the alignments. So right now you can see I've got it aligned to the right. The best coffee for the best you. Maybe I'll put the word best on its own line.
Oh, that's cool.
There's that. I can change the color of it. So maybe let's double click here. Let's make it kind of a green or something. Because there's green right there. I'm just going kind of quick, not making it perfect. Go into preview mode. Something like that. You know, I can even make this, hold down Shift and Command, make it a little bit larger. But you see how I emphasize the word best. Changing the color of it. I could change the font of it. Feel free to change it up however you want it to be. So if I can italicize that, make it all caps. So this is where the design, maybe the word coffee needs to at least, there we go, to stay on there. This is where you as the designer start making your own design decisions. Remember the layout of things, make sure things are balanced, make sure things will fit within the area that you're working with. There's no awkward arrangement to it. But you can't go wrong. As soon as you got your picture window laid out, then you just format the text with it. Same way for this person down here. So here's my line. I'm going to start off with my tool. I'm going to go real quick for her. Just cutting her out. This is for a Bible study fellowship. I'll go around this edge. We'll reverse it. So now she's cut out. There's my picture window. I can then place my information into here, start formatting your information. How would you make Bible Study Fellowship really stand out? How would you make this be Papa Bear and Mama Bear? What things could be done? Anything you see?
Well, I think I would kind of put maybe Bible fellowship, study fellowship in a different color, maybe
Okay.
like a tan or something that's just that would kind of blend in.
Yeah.
Something that you barely see over there, and something might bring it out.
Yeah.
Or even the tan in the Bible, edge of the Bible.
There you go.
Or even a maroon would look good because it looks like a Bible.
Okay.
I kind of
Perfect. There you go. So I'll leave it up to you however you want to format it. You can do that. But you see the picture window effect that I'm creating. Big image on one side, open space on another for the text to go in. Same way for the last one. This one's the really fun one. I'm going to make my image just a little bit bigger. Remember, you can click on the little circle and then hold down your shift key and you can place it wherever you want. So if you want it on the top, you want it on the bottom, remember it doesn't have to, you can split things up. With this one, what would you want to do? Would you want the top half of it to be all white, or you can do the bottom half of it?
That's what I was going to ask you about. Even the coffee beans when you got finished. This is what I have an issue with when I start cutting out the bottom stuff because, like, I mean, I see it sitting on the table right now. And, like, the coffee beans are sitting on the table, and then when I cut it out, all my pictures look like it's still hanging or it's just kind of floating in the air.
Okay.
And I don't know if I can't get it out of my mind since I saw it originally. So I'm always wanting to put things like at the top or whatever. But I'm trying to break myself away from that to make it look more interesting.
The reason it's doing that is I'm losing my cast shadow. I'm losing that good shadow that's keeping it grounded. So you're right. I agree. It's a very hard edge, very difficult to get it to not look like it's just floating in midair. For the sake of these exercises, it's not going to matter. It's just going to be kind of a nice hard edge that it fits this aesthetic. So totally okay, whichever that you choose. I tell you what, we'll go for the bottom edge. Let me show you another thing you can do. Rather than doing a straight line, I'm going to get crazy. I'm going to use a curved line. We'll go into this. You can hit the line again. So rather than it moving straight, it's curve or follow that curve of the pot itself. I've done this a lot, so I know exactly what to expect with it. So as it curves here, maybe it'll curve off down here. Let's see what happens when I swap that up. So now I've got a break that looks something like this. Kind of cool. You know, instead of it being straight, now it's a little bit different. You can play around with it however you want. Maybe instead of it curving this way, I can bring this up and let it curve, curve downward this way. So now I've got kind of a swooping type of effect.
And see, and that to me that looks a little bit more natural because you can still see the wood if you put it in like in a different color to make it look like a tablecloth or something.
Yeah.
It looks like it's not floating.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I think I get to looking at my picture one way, and then it's like, okay, get that out of my head and somebody it's
Yeah. Sometimes it takes you stepping back and looking at what you have. But now notice I've got a little area at the top. I've got area down here. I can change the font, change the color, play around with alignment, but always pay attention to your information. Make sure there's, that right there could easily be an ad. Very rough ad, nothing fancy about it. I could easily add some more information to it to start changing it up. So that's what you're going to do for this particular exercise. first thing I would do, just grab your pen tool and make the outlines for each of them. Then go back, format the text, and place those with them there. And don't forget this top one has that little link thing. I'll walk you through it if you have any trouble with it. All cool?